Welcome back to the Blunders Rating Climb. It's time to spin the wheel. Thank you, everybody, for the suggestions. I've added your ideas to the wheel. Let's see where we end up. Ooh, Greek gift at the wrong time. Okay, I'll remove that from the wheel. That's an interesting one. Let me update it over here. I'm just going to say Greek gift gone wrong. How does that sound? Let's do Greek gift gone wrong. Update. And there we go. Okay, let's do it. Hiding the wheel, jumping into a game. So the Greek gift sacrifice, first of all, is when we sacrifice our bishop over here to lure the king out. So I'm going to hopefully set up a position where that could happen. So we'll just play the queen's gambit declined here, defend our pawn. I'm going to go ahead and get my bishop. Actually, I'm going to wait. I don't want to scare him from castling, so I'm just going to wait a second. But essentially, yeah, I'm hoping white's going to castle, and then we're going to somehow mess up this Greek gift sacrifice. So in the meantime, let's just get the pawn pyramid here, defend the center, bring out my knight, and hopefully white castles. Perfect. Okay, so let's go here. So the idea of the Greek gift is that we sacrifice the bishop, the king comes out, we bring the knight in with check, the king goes back, and then we bring the queen out and checkmate him. Now, obviously, it's not going to work because there is a knight sitting there. So I could do it right now, or I could try to get rid of the knight, but then it would probably be a successful one. So I guess we'll just do it right now and pretend that I didn't see the knight, and I'm thinking he has to take with the king. Let's see what happens. Okay, he does take with the king, so I'm just going to continue as if everything is working the way that I intended. Put him in check with the knight, and then come for the checkmate over here. And I guess to make it interesting, we were just going to have a blind spot. Oh, that knight was sitting there the whole time, and I didn't even realize it. Okay. So I lost the bishop, I lost the queen. And now it's time to recover. So how are we going to do this? First things first, I'm going to go back. I don't want to trade pieces. I don't want to lose my knight. I need the game to last longer, right? I'm down a queen. I'm down a bishop. I need to look for opportunities to win back some pieces, right? So we're just going to play solid, and we're going to be very patient and wait until our opponent makes a mistake. That's the plan. Let me turn off the viewer count since this is not live. That doesn't make sense to have that on. Okay, he plays b3. That's a good move. And yeah, I mean, what do I even do in a position like this, right? This is the... Okay, we'll play g5. I guess gain a little bit of space over here. He's probably going to move his knight back, I would expect. Yep, let me defend it. That's a good move. That's actually a very good move. Look at this guy putting the bishop there. That's an amazing diagonal for that bishop. I'm going to reroute the knight and try to give my bishop at least some breathing room. Of course, white could trade, but at least I get rid of this really powerful bishop. Okay, they do trade. So I'll take it. Put my king somewhere. I wonder if I could... Okay, here's an idea. Here's an idea. What if I bring this rook over here and push the pawns and generate some kind of an attack with the rooks and the knight? The problem, here's the problem, guys. If I try to do that, I have to put my king here, which looks like I might come under fire from all these pieces. I kind of think I should just go over here. I'm going to just do that. Let's just be patient, wait for a better opportunity. I can still bring the rook over and tuck the king back on f8. Maybe we'll try that, but basically the name of the game now is just be patient. All right, we take back. That does open up my bishop, so that's something. Can't really go anywhere at the moment that's going to be that useful to me. Yeah, e4 is a good move. That's a very good move. He's busting open the center, and I don't really like that. I think I'm going to leave it and let him just take me, so I'll just go here for now and plan on recapturing with the pawn. Okay. And at least we're getting our rooks into the game, which is important because these are the most valuable pieces that we have left. So I like that they're connected. I like that now I have options. I can bring them to the open files. The problem is if white does the same thing, I don't want to just trade my rooks, right? He's going to win. He has a queen and a bishop extra. So I have to figure out something else. And I don't know what that something else is, except maybe push this pawn and try to attack the king over here. That's all I can really think to do. Okay, he wants to come in. This one doesn't bother me. I'll just move. It is a fork, though, and you could trade these pieces. So maybe we should stop that. Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to just abandon some of this stuff over here. If he wants to take a pawn, fine. If he wants to go here, fine. I'm going to try to set up some sort of an attack. Because if you create an attack, you give your opponent the opportunity to make a mistake. Yeah, this is really don't want to trade pieces. So I'm going to make an awkward move and go backwards because trading is not what maybe this bishop's going to be the piece that wins me the game. Let's play h5. See if you can put some pressure on your opponent, right? You got to give them opportunities to make mistakes. So that's what we're going to try to do. Create a situation where they might make a mistake. Of course, I have to be careful. If this rook comes down here, this would be very dangerous. But right now, the knight's actually in their way. And I could always bring my bishop back to defend. So I think we're okay temporarily there. And maybe I have a little bit of time to push Harry and see what happens. It is possible that they mess up. Okay, that's a pretty good move, actually. He's threatening to take this. Unfortunately, don't think I can do much about that. I can play b6, but doesn't really help me much. Yeah, I'll play b6. Maybe force the rook to an awkward square. Oh, I could play bishop b7. I was trying to leave this bishop here because I thought maybe I was going to need it to help me attack. But since he's going for this obvious capture, maybe I should just defend it. Let's do that. We'll just defend. Sometimes if you just deal with the current threat in the position, even if you're still totally losing, your opponent still is like, well, what do I do now? I wanted to take the pawn and I can't. Yeah, they're up a queen, but who cares? Like, you stop them from doing what they were trying to do, and now they have to solve another problem. They're going to waste time on the clock, and maybe they make a mistake, right? You never know. Queen c2 is a pretty good move, though. I mean, so far, let's see. Let's see if we can make him nervous, right? That's what we're going for. Give him the opportunity to make a mistake and be ready to capitalize on it when it happens. Exactly what I'm talking about. We were patient, and finally, here's an opportunity for us. Now we can take this. I could take it either way. I think I'm going to take with the bishop. I don't know if it necessarily matters, but I'll take with the bishop. So we got a piece back. Okay, we're still down a queen, but it's something. It's a step in the right direction, right? Now my bishop's lined up here. If I can push this and trade, you never know. You never know what might happen, right? And it does appear... Oh, disconnected. Oh, no. No, not like this, guys. I wanted you to see the game because I'm pretty sure they were going to have some difficulties here. And I wanted to see what was going to happen. Even, for example, h3, g3, h2 is checkmate, right? That's just one example. And I was hoping we were going to get to see this game. No. Raphael, I am very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. Okay, that just kind of ruins it. Man, all right. Well, we won the game. Doesn't feel right, and that's just unfortunate. That's how it happened, but I guess that's another thing, right? You never know when your opponent's just going to disconnect. So, yeah, man. Anyway, we'll never know what was going to happen. They played a good game, though. I mean, they were playing some good moves for a 500 rated player, I have to say. Like, that's a pretty good player. And they just joined recently, so you never know what was going on. But I was really curious to see what was going to happen when I played h3. I was really curious. Anyway, what can I do? Where's the blunder wheel? Here it is. Here we go. Spinning it again. Pre-move the first 5 moves. Okay, so this is essentially like somebody who is trying to play a particular opening and they just pre-move it. Okay. Let's go new 10-minute game. What opening am I going to pre-move? How about like a fried liver attack? Yeah, let's try the fried liver attack. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far, so good. So far, we played a good move. Ooh. Is he going to go for the 4-move checkmate? Oh, no. Surely not. Okay. Okay. I was like, we're about to lose. Okay. He's not going for it. He's doing something else. He did take my knight. Oh, my other pre-move got canceled. Okay. So there's no more pre-move here, which means that's the end. All right. So we lost a knight, and our bishop's under attack, and this is under attack. Not the end of the world. Could be worse. Honestly, guys, I feel like the best... So we have two problems, right? We have two problems. So as awkward as this might look to you guys, I'm pretty sure this is the best move. We have to just go back because we have to solve both of the problems, right? So unfortunately, that's what the position is calling for, right? And sometimes you have to just do that. Okay. So the first thing that I think I'm going to do is play d4. I could save that move for later and play knight c3 first. d4 is a nice looking move though. Let's just play it. Comes with a tempo, so it just makes sense to go ahead and open up that bishop right away. We have both bishops opened up now, kind of slicing across the board, which is nice. And we are going to be able to probably get a pawn back. Okay, so he sees the queen, but the move chosen doesn't really help him. Why? Because I'm going to take it, and guess what? I still have a tempo on the queen. So now I'm going to be ready to take back here, right? Okay, let's just check first. Always want to check the last move. Make sure they didn't do anything that's going to cause you problems. I don't think so. I think I'll take it. I mean, I could leave it and just go for quick development, but we'll go ahead and take it. It's kind of an annoying pawn because it stops some of these key developing moves. Okay, as a general rule, when someone puts me in check here, I'm going to block with a pawn. Why? Because it comes with the tempo, which is very important in the early phase of the game when you're trying to develop your pieces as fast as possible. He now has to spend a move moving the bishop away. I'm just going to take it. So that didn't really accomplish much. In fact, I almost have a beautiful tactic here. Do you guys see what it is? I say almost because I'm not sure if it exactly works, but queen a4 check is the move. There's knight c6 though, and he defends the bishop. Now I can play bishop b5 and try to attack, but then I'm leaving myself vulnerable to this. Which is probably not what I want to do, unfortunately. So, probably should just keep continuing development. So maybe just go here. I guess I could play g3 and fianchetto the bishop, because if the bishop's there, then we do have this threat. So that's not out of the question. Also, it deals with this annoying threat. So my options are just develop a piece, and then get the queen somewhere and castle this way. That seems fine. Or try to fianchetto and then maybe go for this fork. I feel like this is kind of playing a little bit of hope chess. Like, I hope he doesn't see it. I hope I'm going to get the fork later, you know. And so probably a better move is maybe just developing the piece. I could be wrong, but let's just go with the safe developing move. And we'll just wait on this guy. Okay, he does bring out the knight. I can go get the bishop. Have the bishop pair. I did lose a piece earlier, so I don't want to trade too much, but that's just like one trade and it does open up my queen, so that's not out of the question. Or I can just go queen a4 and try to be annoying here and then get ready to castle. That also looks reasonable. Let's go. We'll go for the bishop. Bishop pair is pretty valuable, so I think getting rid of this bishop makes sense. And that also defends my pawn. Now that I look at that. So you always want to, whenever you have captures like this, you always want to check for tactics first and foremost. So like takes, check, like we talked about. But again, the knight will just block, and I don't quite have a tactic amazingly. So I guess it just doesn't quite work. Huh. Yeah, doesn't quite work. I can play queen a4 first, though, with the threat. Yeah, I think I like that. So basically trying to take advantage of the same thing, but in a different way, right? So now I'm pinning the knight, threatening to take the bishop. And even if you break the pin, I'm still just going to take it because I actually have 2 attackers. So really, black needs to move the bishop back. But then I can take it. I have this guy pinned, so you have to take back this way. Maybe I can castle. Now my rook's involved, my queen's involved, my bishop's involved, my other bishop's going to come. And we are generating a little bit of an attack. Okay, so let's see how our opponent's going to respond. And they don't notice what's going on. They probably thought to themselves, no, I'm defended. He can't take me, right? But actually, it's 2 attackers and only 1 defender. So before I take, I'm just going to scan, make sure that this move didn't change anything significantly. I mean, it's controlling these squares. The queen can't really do anything to me. Fine. Take the piece back. Cool, so we got our piece back. That's great. And we have a pretty nice position because we were developing our pieces quickly. Black wasted a tempo, remember earlier? And by the way, that C3 move that I got for free, I don't know why I did quotes, I did get it for free, was very helpful because not only did it force the bishop to move, it opened up my queen, right? And now I was able to play this nice move, and now I'm winning a piece. And so you see how those small little mistakes can kind of snowball and add up, and all of a sudden you just start to take control of the game, essentially, right? Okay, so he's trying to defend, solid option. I want to just keep attacking it, but I don't know what's happening here. So one option, guys, we let him take it and we castle the other way, essentially gambiting the pawn. I actually like the look of that a lot. Why? Because it puts my rook in a very aggressive spot. All of my pieces are attacking. Bishop's over here. Bishop's doing a great job. And if black tries to run and get to safety, guess what? I have an open G file where I can keep attacking. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Keep attacking the pinned piece. Okay, so he castles right away. Interesting. Doesn't take the pawn. Probably a good decision. First things first, we have 1, 2, 3 attackers. 1, 2, 3 defenders. Sorry, 1, 2, 3 defenders. So I could take, and just mess up the pawn structure. So the big question is, do I like that endgame? This is how you want to think at a high level. Do I like that endgame? If you like that endgame, maybe you should just go straight to the endgame. So let's think about it. These are going to be gone. And we are going to have a pawn, 2 pawns, a pawn, a pawn, a pawn. So black has 6 pawns. I have 6 pawns. But my pawn structure is much better, right? Isolated, isolated, double isolated, and my pawns are very beautiful. So that is definitely an advantage. And against a very high-rated player, I probably would do that. Now, that being said, there are other ways we could try to get an even bigger advantage. For example, bishop to c5. Now, this is a much trickier move because now there's a lot to think about because he might take me here, but can he? Because I take this knight. I'm pinning this guy. If this knight tries to move away, then we could probably take here or even take the rook. So there's a lot happening. At a quick glance, bishop c5 seems to be maybe an even more powerful move. Yes, there's nothing wrong with going into an endgame and winning an endgame, but if you have a more powerful move, maybe you should do that. Now, I'm just not sure about my king because there's a rook here, there's a queen here, the bishop can very quickly come out and start attacking me. So it just feels a little bit risky. Now, probably this is the best move, but I think maybe let's just take it to an endgame, and this might be instructive as well. So, but either of these moves I think would be totally fine. Bishop c5 is very tricky. I could see my opponent probably messing that up, easily. But in an effort to show some endgames, since we don't see a lot of endgames, let's take this one to an endgame, hopefully. Of course, black could take back with the pawn earlier. Okay, and that's exactly what they do. They don't have to trade these pieces. Fine. But we still get the benefit of the pawn structure, so that's great. Okay, have to save the bishop. We can no longer trade here because we just simply lose, right? And so I think I'm just going to go check. Again, looking for those tempo moves, right? I move with tempo, attack the king, put it in check. And probably going to castle this way. Why this way and not kingside? Because I don't like the queen, and the bishop can come out and just threaten to checkmate me. Don't think I want to do that. Okay, that's a pretty good move from the opponent. They just block. Yeah, that's probably fine. And so again, I think I want to castle. Let's do it. Get the king to safety. This is defended, of course, so I'm not worried about that. And we already talked about if they take this pawn, I'm pretty happy. I'm going to use my rooks to really attack the king that way. So I will definitely sacrifice a pawn to do that. And now that my king is safe, I'm definitely thinking about bishop c5 next move. I just wanted to make sure that the king was taken care of before I went, attacking random stuff. All right. So let's see. Is black going to make the trade, or are they going to do something else? Okay. They do take the pawn, and I would say it's probably a poisoned pawn. So what move should I play? Think carefully. Well, if you said rook g1, you would be wrong. Not a bad move, but I don't think it's the best move. Why? The queen was doing an important job. This is really important, guys. Whenever a piece on the chessboard moves, you always have to think, was there something going on before with that piece that is no longer happening? That has to be just part of your everyday thought process. Every time a piece is moved, was there something happening that wasn't happening before? Right? Even let's go back a move. Bishop e6. Was there something happening that wasn't happening before? Well, yeah, the bishop's attacking me. Okay. What else? This rook is defending this rook. That might be significant, right? The rook can now go to here. That might be significant. Those are the things that you have to think about. So in this position, was the queen doing something there before that it's not doing? Oh, yeah, it was defending the bishop. Of course, I'm not going to go here and give it a chance to defend again. I'm going to take it with check. And then I will probably do this, right? So don't forget about that. Don't forget about that. And I have a lot of really good moves, guys. So let me just kind of list them off for you. Number 1, bring a rook. Number 2, bring another rook. Both rooks could probably be fine there. I think this one is better because this rook is already looking really amazing. And I don't care if they take this pawn. I would actually be happy to sacrifice another pawn because then I have 2 open files for my rooks. So that's definitely a good move. Another move that I would like to play is rook on the 7th rank. Very powerful. I can't immediately because of this, but maybe after the rook comes over. And then also bishop c5 looks really good. Just getting this bishop attacking here, we might be able to win some material that way. But having said all that, I'm going to go with the move that comes with a tempo. Again, I generally will prioritize those types of moves because it limits my opponent's options. I don't have to calculate, are they going to bring their rook? Are they going to start moving their knight around? No, I know they're going to move their queen because I just attacked it, right? Very easy. Okay, how do we attack even further? Let me think about this. Rook g3 and double up looks very good. Or bring the queen. What should we do? I don't know. They all look really great. Let's go with rook g3. Batteries are very powerful, so I think I'm going to do that. Probably could have also gone rook d7. Keeping an eye on the time. I don't want to just keep talking forever, so let's actually make some moves and not lose on time. But position is very, very good. I think we are going to have no problem in this game. Okay, what is the queen doing now that it wasn't doing before? Of course, attacking my bishop. Now, I could move my bishop, but since I want to bring my queen over anyway, I'm going to do a multi-purpose move here, defend and attack at the same time. And now we can come here. We can also come here and create the Alekine's gun, as they call it. The triple battery is usually pretty powerful. We can also think about bishop g5, maybe setting up some tactics. They go g6. Okay. Yes. What do we do? Let's bring this guy down. Okay. So we're just piling on the pieces, right? We're just piling on more pieces, and eventually you need to look for a tactic to win the game, right? And I'm pretty sure I'm at that moment. So the one that I'm eyeing is bishop g5 to win the knight, or bishop c5, same idea, or if there's like some checkmate or something. But yeah, let's go ahead with this. I am giving up this pawn, but I think it's not a big deal. Even if I get put in check, looks like I'm going to be able to run and hide over here somehow. And so I don't think black can really get away with that. They're going to go for it. Okay, so this is going to get a little interesting. Check, check. We run. Yeah, as far as I can tell, I'm going to be just fine. So I'm going to take it. It's a little scary, and maybe there was a way I could have done this differently, but sometimes you have to take risks in chess, and you just have to make sure that you calculate properly. So I calculated check, I run, and I didn't actually see this move, but I think I have bishop before. But yeah, it's actually a little bit more tricky than I thought. Okay, I'm going to go here. And basically now the game has changed from before I was going on the offensive to now I'm up so much material. If I can just get my king safe, I'm going to be fine. Okay, and I have to obviously move quickly. So this is a threat. I want to just trade some pieces and obviously not get checkmated. So it's always nice when you have these little like squares to just run away and hide. Usually that means you're not going to get checkmated. Of course, unless they can somehow stop you from going there. Okay, we'll take this one. We do have an attack here, but the bishop is pinned, so we can't move it. I'm probably going to be coming in with my queen. I need to get on this diagonal here. Let's do it. So we have some threats. And I mean, I was checking, but this is defended very well, so nothing to worry about there. Okay, let's get a fork. And if the rook blocks, we will keep attacking the pinned piece. Okay, attack the pinned piece. And now there's probably a checkmate very soon. This would be checkmate. This would be another checkmate if the kings goes there. So yeah, I think it's over now. Black played pretty well. I mean, they were defending nicely and, you know, counterattacking. So well played to our opponent. Yeah, I don't think there's anything really left for them at this point. All right, so we take it with check. Okay, so they stopped that one, but there's also this one, and that's just checkmate. So, well played. Good job by the opponent. Check the game review. Okay, and so anything I want to mention? Let's see if that bishop f1 was the best move or not. So we give up the knight. We're in a tough spot. And yeah, Stockfish says bishop f1, best move. Yep. So sometimes you have to do that, right? It's the only move that kind of deals with both problems at the same time. It's a bit awkward and feels weird, but you know, you got to do it. All right, cool. Time for the blunder wheel. Here we go. Miss a long range attack. Okay. Let me update this. Miss long range attack. There we go. So this one essentially was like, you know, there's a queen or a bishop on the other side of the board and you don't see that it's attacking something, right? Okay, so let's just try to play a normal game. And when something like that happens, we just won't see it. Okay, so man, what do I even play? I don't want to get into such a great position too fast before I can mess up something. Okay, we'll just play like some normal moves that this person has probably seen before. So Sicilian, I would assume that they've seen this a lot and have something that they like to play. So let's see what it is. We'll take it back with a pre-move. Wow. That's not the move. I forget that 500s don't always know opening theory. That's not the move. They really need to take. So yeah, we'll take it. It's a free pawn, obviously, and we can even throw in the queen trade. But I'm going to pretend like I didn't see this. Okay, I'm not very good at long range pieces. I didn't see that I could trade. By the way, that would have been a good move because then the king would be over here, and when I came in with the knight, it would be threatening a fork. But since I'm Peter-Patzer, I struggle. I didn't see it. Let's see if my opponent sees it. They can trade and make me move. My opponent has to quit. Can we draw? No, I'm sorry, dude. We literally just started the game. They offered a draw. Okay. Well, they have to go out. They have to go out. Okay. And there it is. All right. That doesn't count. We're gonna redo. That does not count. I mean, at least for the blunder wheel. I'm gonna try that again on a new game. So I struggle with long range pieces. Okay, that's what I struggle with. So just gonna do some normal moves. I don't know. Maybe I'll bring my rook over here so that I don't lose this. Should have castled, but I didn't. Push this pawn up. Okay. How do I miss a long range attack? Okay. I mean, there's not a lot happening, so we're probably going to just wait until the end game maybe, or just later in the game. Just kind of keep playing some moves. Okay. We've got this nice little pawn podium here. Bring my queen up. Okay, let's pretend I don't see that. I didn't notice it, and I'm focused on something else, like this guy. I just didn't see it. I didn't notice the queen attack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What am I going to do about that? Let me go back. Save my knight. Ah. All right. Blundered the rook. Queen came in. Long range queen. I don't know. So here we are. We're down a rook. What is my plan going to be? Well, same thing. Don't trade too many pieces. Now, we're already kind of closer to the end game, so this is going to be a little bit challenging. But look for weaknesses. His king is there. Maybe that could be a target. So I think I'm going to take to open up the one rook that I have left and see if I can somehow attack the king. Okay, let me bring my knight over here. I need to use pieces to attack, and so I'm getting ready to do that. Okay, he does take that. That's fine. And I think I'm going to go here. And the reason is I don't want him to castle and get away from my attack. Okay, so I'm going to stop the castling. Remember, you cannot castle through check. And now I'm going to look for how else can I help my queen attack this guy. And I'm thinking the knight might be my best chance. So how do we get this knight to help the queen attack the king? You guys have any ideas? I see one that jumps out at me right away. Okay, the idea is push the pawn forward. Why? Clearing the square for my knight, and hopefully this guy moves when I push the pawn, and then I can jump into this square. Okay, so how could I potentially accomplish that? You say, Nelson, you can't do that. There's a queen blocking you. Well, what if I play d5? This is defending this pawn. So now we play d5. He can't take me. And next move, I'm going e4. I've got the zigzag pawns supporting each other. And guess what? Once we kick the knight away, I'm jumping in and I'm going here. Now, unfortunately, he's stopping me. But that's what I'm going to still attempt to do. So let's think about this. If I push right now, he might actually jump in and take advantage of this pinned knight. So what's a better move? I think there's a good move here for me. It solves these problems, and it helps me with what I'm trying to accomplish. What should I play? The move that I'm thinking is King d7. Great move. Why? I get away from the pin, so my knight is freed up, defends the pawn now. Great. Also defend this pawn that he was attacking. Great. And there's no more, like I said, there's no more knight threats, because now my knight is free to just take it. And guess what? I'm threatening e4. And I think now is exactly what I'm going to do. e4. Now, I'm just thinking if it makes sense to trade and try to use this other pawn, but no, I don't think so. He is going to have the option to go there, which is a little bit unfortunate, but probably my best chance. I guess bishop d6. Okay, hold on. This is maybe a critical moment. So let's think about this. We could play bishop d6. The idea is takes, 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 takes. We might have a little bit of an attack still with the queen and the rook and the bishop. Or we push. He's going to jump in for sure. Take, take. We still have the rook. We could bring the bishop. Yeah, also a little bit of an attack. Which one is better? I don't know. Maybe this one. So we'll go with this. I could be wrong here, but I think he's going to play 95. This person seems like they're paying attention. Okay, they do not. All right. So unfortunately, the pawn on d4 stops my knight, which is really annoying because I wanted to go there. So we have to find an alternate plan. So what could our plan be? Well, let's think about it. The good news is these pieces are really stuck. Can't move. Can't move. The knight doesn't really have any good options. Okay, that's great. Can't castle because my queen is here. So really, I just need to get these pieces more involved in the attack, and I'll be pretty fine. Sometimes I like to go backwards and just see, is there any way I could end up there? Maybe we could do this. Feels a little weird, but it might be possible. Pawn sacrifice. I don't think that really helps me. I mean, yes, I have a random check, but he's just gonna block. Okay, let's try it. It's weird, but I just went backwards, right? I want my knight to be here, which means maybe I could jump in from here, which means I needed to get on g6, so I'm gonna try. Now, is it the best plan? I don't know, because he can play g3 very easily and stop me. But it's a plan. That's actually not a bad move. That stops me entirely from going there. That's actually a very good move. So maybe we go queen d3. Why am I going queen d3? Well, I'm keeping it on the diagonal, so you can't castle. And I'm potentially threatening to go here and bust open the king. And then the queen and the rook are helping, and the bishop maybe can sneak in at some point if we get rid of the pin. So just trying to set up the attack on the king. And even though I'm down a rook, it doesn't really feel like I'm down a rook because the rooks are not doing anything, right? My one rook is doing a lot more than white's two rooks in the corner, believe it or not. So yeah, that's why the game doesn't really feel like white has a great position, even though they're up a rook. Great move for white would probably be knight b3. Great move. Because it lets their bishop out, threatens a fork, stops my e3 idea. I mean, yeah, knight b3 would be a great move. Now, I'm still going to try to be annoying, actually, with queen c2, because there's... Wow, they play it. What a move. Okay. I'm going to go here, and what I'm trying to do... Ooh, I have to be careful here, actually, guys. This is... Okay, I wanted to go queen c2 because it is a double attack. But after knight check, where does my king go? If I go here, he takes my bishop. Check. I don't actually have a checkmate. So I'd have to take with the rook, let's say, but then I get checkmated. Wow, this was a great move. Okay, we need to be careful. Option one, we bring our knight back to block the queen. Then the bishop is freed up. Option two, we maybe move our king back to d8 so that the bishop is free to take it. Don't know if I like that as much. Rook f7, sacrificing the knight and then going for this fork is an option, but I don't like sacrificing my knight unless I have to. Okay. Oh, the other thing I didn't consider, no, I can't go here. That's checkmate. If I go queen here, check, can't go up. If I go over, he just takes my bishop, and I'm probably getting mated. We don't want to do that. This was an amazing move by the opponent. Okay. I guess I have to bring the knight back, unfortunately. Kind of messes up my plan, but okay, we'll go back. I want to be able to take this guy. I really want to be able to take this guy when he goes here. And the knight wasn't doing anything in the corner. That was probably a bad move earlier. Plays bishop g5. Now, why does that seem like a blunder? Well, it might not be a blunder, though. If I take it with the knight, I'm now back in the pin, and guess what? I get forked. Yikes. If I take with the bishop, I lose my rook. And I'm probably in trouble. Yikes. So, don't think we can do that. I'm going to move my queen so I don't get forked here. And I'm attacking stuff at the same time. He could still jump in after he trades, but then it's not with check. Okay, so I think we have to take this. So I'll take that. He could still jump in, but like I said, it's not with check, and then I can maybe keep taking stuff. Okay, he does. Is there any threats? No. Actually, that might be a threat. I don't think he's going to see that. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, we're going to take this pawn. Maybe this is a threat, but I find that hard to believe. And also, it's going to cost you both of your rooks. Okay, so he goes there. Let me go with the check. Okay, do we have a tactic here? E3. Unfortunately, I'm pinned, so I'm very limited in what I can do. Check. I'm going to make his rook go back, and then I'm probably just going to take this pawn. Yep, let's take the pawn. Still keeping my options open where I have lots of checks available if I need to reroute my queen somewhere. You know, for example, maybe I need to check and come back to defend. Ah, he does castle, which is actually very smart. That's a very good move by the opponent. Very good move. So we're pinned here. We can't move our king. He's got both of his rooks connected. Maybe we try e5. Let's play e5. What am I doing with e5? Well, trying to undermine the defender of this really powerful knight. So if he takes me, I can grab a free knight. It's going to get a little dangerous. Okay, he goes there instead. He's going for a checkmate. Wow. What is happening here, guys? We have to stop the checkmate. Okay, so I'll go here. I'm defending against the two-move checkmate there. Puts me in check. We can't block because then this is too powerful for us, which means... What does it mean? Maybe I need to move? Which way? Let's go here. I don't know. Hoping that they maybe blunder this knight. That would be exactly what we need. Otherwise, white's in a great position. Castling was a great move. Queen g6 was a great move. This is a pretty good move. They're playing a lot of good moves, so we need them to make a mistake here to have a chance. So I'm just trying to hold on as best I can and hopefully wait for a mistake. Where do I go? Let's see. Do I just go back here? He's going to take me with check. So maybe I go here, check. So this is giving them a perpetual check if they want it. I think, honestly, in this position, we should definitely take it. Okay, they don't. That way they take the pawn, though. That's a good move, too. Yeah, they're playing some great moves, guys. I'm going to get flagged, too, if I don't move faster. But I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. My queen is misplaced. I don't know what to do. I have no idea here. Okay, let's go here. Save the pawn. Try to defend my whatever pawns I have left. And see if, again, we kind of have to hope for a mistake and just hold on as long as we can. Essentially, that's the strategy in a position like this. Okay. Pretty good move. What is he threatening? He wants to take my rook, but I can't really move it or I lose the knight. Yikes. He's got this move. If he sees it, for some reason I'm guessing he is. Yes. Okay. Are we playing a new account? Yes, we are. Playing a new account. I'm just very impressed. If this is a 500 rated player, I'm very impressed. Why did they do that? They put me in check and went back. What's going on? Are they going to go back again and not take my knight? That seems weird. I mean, okay, I did give up a free rook, but still, these moves that they're finding are just like, whoa, whoa. Don't usually see 500 rated players playing like this. Now they can take it. Yep. It almost looks like a tactic where the knight can check me and take my queen, but my queen actually covers both of those squares. So I can just take with the queen. Okay, so they go back. Good move. Okay, another pretty good move. Let me go here. I'm trying to avoid forks, and it's not easy to do. Yeah, I can't actually. Can I? Let's see. Maybe I can avoid the forks. We're going to get flagged. Okay, they give me that finally. If I could pre-move, I would love to, but you can't pre-move in a position like this. It's just not safe. Maybe this is a safe pre-move. No. Yeah, they have checkmate if they're gonna see it. Yep. Wow. Okay. I'm really curious what the game review looks like. I don't think we were playing a 500 rated player. Could be wrong, but I was getting the vibe that something was off there. Interesting. It is a new account, so maybe this person just hasn't played very many games. I don't really know. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see something. Sorry, let me take this away. Okay, obviously A3, not a good move. They played some questionable moves early. Yeah, this was 500 rated play. for sure. And then I was like, oh, wait a second. Is this 500 rated? Let's see. Knight b3. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to put it down as a loss for right now. This area was like, what was going on? Maybe this is just how 500s play. I mean, they did blunder the knight, so that's something. I guess it's possible. Strong 500. That's all I will say. Strong 500. We'll put it as a loss. But let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? All right. I'm going to spin the wheel for one more game. Let's go ahead. Don't castle. Okay. So we're not going to castle this game. I mean, that in and of itself is not necessarily an awful thing. It's just sometimes it could be bad. So let's see if I can maybe play an opening where it might be bad. Like some sort of opening where you just kind of immediately open up the center and then don't castle. Like that's really where you're going to have some trouble. Like maybe like the Danish Gambit is a good example of this. Yeah, so this would definitely be an opening where you would want to castle. So let's go ahead. We'll play this opening. We won't castle, and we'll see what happens to us. Okay. You know, I say not castling is bad, but like sometimes when people put you in check like this, you can't. Yeah, I'll actually use this as an opportunity to teach you something. So sometimes King F1 is not as crazy as it looks. Now, of course, I can't castle, but you do get your king out of the center, kind of. Like you're at least off of that file, which is a lot of times all you need. Also, this bishop sometimes just wants to like trade itself for a piece, so they don't have to worry about it. They don't lose it. You know, they just bring it out, trade it, whatever. When you play King F1, you don't give them a target. So now they defended it, but if they hadn't defended it, maybe we could have used it as a target and set up some tactics, right? That being said, we have a good move. What should we do? That's correct. When they moved the bishop out, they weren't paying attention to this pawn here, and we can simply take that and capture the rook. So that was a really big mistake. Danish Gambit, very, very powerful opening at the lower levels. I may have to go. Doorbell just rang, and I am expecting something. Ooh. All right, guys. I will be right back. Hopefully, I don't lose on time. Okay, somebody was just trying to sell me something. Told them I was about to lose on time, which I guess was not the complete truth, but I was losing time. Okay, so you always check the last move. It looks like it's a blunder. I think we will take it. See, this is where this is what I would expect a 500 rated player to play like, and then you compare that to the last game, and that's when you're like, wait a second, what's going on, right? Okay. checks. Look at the last move. My queen is under attack. Let's go for a check. So he has two options, okay? So basically you want to look for checks and captures. We have a lot of checks. So start wherever you want. I usually like to start with the queen, checks on the king. So like for example, here, 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 here. And then I would add this one as a potential tactic to lure the king away. Which of those jumps out at you guys as the best move? All right, hopefully you noticed it. Whenever you get the queen next to the king and it's a knight move away, it's checkmate. And so there we go. Okay, cool. So this will be interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to update the counter here. Okay, yeah, pretty high accuracy game, even with not castling, right? And actually, if we check here, King F1 is Stockfish's third recommended move. It's not a bad move. It likes, bringing out the knight a little bit better, but it's actually not a bad move. And we don't give the bishop a chance to trade itself. We keep our options open, like we don't block it off with this. We don't block off our queen by bringing our knight there. So there are some benefits to doing this from time to time. And so you want to at least consider it. Not always, and it kind of depends on the situation. But this is a pretty good example of where it's not a bad choice. Okay? So, yeah, hope you guys learned something. Please let me know in the comments, what should I add to the blunder wheel? I need more suggestions. So yeah, if you guys could do that, I would appreciate it. Thank you. I'll see you next week. Stay sharp, play smart. Take care.